many Nigerians supporting APC to return back for second time. I told I go fire all of una because support for APC is a support for terrorism. Support for APC is a support for poverty. Support for APC is a support for insecurity and darkness.
Here is a government who believes that elections are won by grabbing, snatching, and running away with it. Here is a government who employed all the tactic of deception by hiring fake bishops, buying judges, and controlling the INEC. Now you must understand that the only people who knew the actual result of the 2023 election is Tinubu and APC and INEC. So why the special attention on Peter Obi is simple, because they know that all the technique that they used to rig the 2023 election cannot be employed again.
In this video, I want to debunk 3 lies that APC keep telling Nigerians. Lie number 1 is that President Tinubu saved Nigeria from debt for removing fuel subsidy. First of all, Tinubu is not the first person to remove fuel subsidy. When President Goodluck Jonathan removed fuel subsidy in 2012, Tinubu and his political gang turned into a political weapon against him. So if fuel subsidy removal is that good, why did President Tinubu and his crony gang turn into a political weapon against Goodluck Jonathan when he removed it? And Goodluck Jonathan had better plans in the removal of fuel subsidy. When he removed fuel subsidy, fuel just moved from 60-something naira to 90-something naira. Not the outrageous prices we are seeing now in the current economy. Then the second lie that APC keep telling Nigerians is that governors are receiving more money. That is a big lie. First of all, are you aware that a governor that was receiving 40 billion naira 4 years ago and a governor that is receiving 100 billion naira in this current economy received the same worth of money? Money is not measured by the quantity. Money is measured by the quality and the purchasing power of it. A man that was receiving 40,000 naira salary 4 years ago and a man that is receiving 100,000 naira salary in this current Tinubu economy received the same worth of money. Because what 40,000 naira can buy 4 years ago, 100,000 naira in this current economy can buy it. You get, so it's the same worth of money. So it's a big lie when they tell us that governors are receiving more money. When the purchasing power has been reduced, the economy has been destroyed, the value of the currency has been destroyed. So more money does not change anything. So that is a big lie. Then the third lie they keep telling Nigerians is that fuel subsidy removal money is being used to build coastal highway and student loan. President Tinubu, please, can you release the list of the Nigerian students that have collected this loan? We want to see the list, their name, where they are from, the school they are attending, with their phone number. Release the list. Let's verify these people that have collected this student loan. But you keep lying to us that student loan. Give us the list of the people that have benefited from the student loan. Let us know the list and verify them by ourselves. Because in my whole environment, I've not seen anybody that have benefited from this so-called student loan. If you know anybody, put the person name in the comment section. And coastal highway, our east-west road, the federal road are all bad. Federal Tinubu left all of them and is trying to go and do a new road. Just like a man. You have 3 problems. You left the 3 problems, create a 4th problem and is solving it. And you are saying you are working, you are doing something. You are not wasting your time. When our federal road and interstate roads are very bad, Tinubu abandoned them and is claiming he's doing coastal highway, which is a big lie.
Guys, obedient group don't send message give all the APC politicians when want Peter Obi out of the way before the 2027 presidential election. It's a shame. As big as APC, they are scared of Peter Obi. Since the 2023 election, Peter Obi never rests because he wants to become the president of Nigeria. The reason why these elements of politicians will not want Peter Obi to become the president of Nigeria is because they believe as soon as Peter Obi enter Aso Rock, so many of their deadly secrets go come to light. So all the criminalities in power, they are all after Peter Obi. Peter Obi na the #1 man with good record and integrity for Nigeria. Somebody like Dave Umahi, when gets case to answer, still dey throw mouth give Peter Obi. David Umahi, you need to watch this video and see what your age mates are saying about you. So guys, I want you to listen to what they said. I am coming back.
Presidential election is coming up next year. There are 3 key consequential candidates in the race. the incumbent Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Peter Gregory of the NDC, and Atiku Abubakar of the ADC. You will never see or hear any northerner, governor, former governor, ministers in Tinubu's cabinet attacking Atiku, abusing Atiku. But in the southeast, you will see former governors, you will see ministers. Every opportunity, they want to ridicule P2P, they want to abuse him, they want to attack him. Most especially Dave Umahi. You know, I want to address Dave straight this morning. You know, what actually got me angry was he called himself the lion of the southeast. Upon what basis and indicators, upon what yardstick did Dave, a kitten thinking that he's a lion of the southeast, a lizard thinking himself a crocodile? Let's interrogate matters. You know, it's high time we call these guys to order. Dave was always bragging, oh, I became a billionaire at 25. Hey, Dave, can we interrogate even your billionaire status and how you became a billionaire at 25? If you ask me how Aliko Dangote became a billionaire, I will tell you. If you ask me how Chinedu Echiro of Hotspot became a billionaire, I will tell you. You don't become a billionaire overnight. There are track records of how somebody grew from the scratch. If you ask me how Coach Charles became a billionaire, we can track it. What kind of nonsense is this? Always talking loquaciously. This is a man who's called himself professor of works, professor of road building. You embarked on a 700-kilometer coastal road project, what over 11 billion, without any environmental impact assessment test. At the end of the day, see Lagos everywhere being flooded. The report conducted after you started that nonsense project. Today now, it's very clear that the flood had been exacerbated because of that nonsense. You are governor for it. Can we interrogate your records as a governor? You built 20 flyovers. You built the 50 billion you wasted in doing that Pentest sepulchre you call airport. If that money was properly applied in agriculture, we'll be generating more than 300 billion annually from the body, and we'll have taken more than 1 million people out of poverty. What is your record? Let us even interrogate the HGI. You know, that is why it pains me when I see any Nigerian clapping for some of these governors and former governors. Why they, let me tell you the truth, why most of them, 99.99% do most of this road projects, flyovers to nowhere. Is because they usually overinflate the contract sum by 300, 500%, and then the contractors will help them to bring that money. That is the easiest route to loot. To do projects that have catalytic effect in productivity, they won't do it. Projects that will enhance health, that will enhance access to education, that will enhance and reduce poverty in the land, they will not impact upon it. Look at the Ebonyi State. Today, literacy level in Ebonyi State is 65-68%. Average literacy rate in the south is 90%. Ebonyi is way below the southeast. Ebonyi has one of the biggest landmass after Indigbo in the whole of the southeast. Ebonyi is so blessed with rich agrarian land and the solid mineral resources that a thinking and creative governor will have created, Ebonyi will have been a basin of wealth. Look at maternal mortality rate in Ebonyi State. The southeast average is about 250 to 300 for every 1,000. 100,000. In Ebonyi, it's almost 550 to 1,300. Double that of the south. Yes, this man will call himself. How do you call yourself land of the southeast? No, you've ended up impoverishing your people. Wasted and filtered the little resources that comes them and did not do anything creative to add value to them. And yet you brag, you're the lion. How are you the lion of the southeast? Can we interrogate some of these things? You know, these guys, they open their mouth, wow, they talk. They think that every one of us is fully. Let me tell you, the Igbo man is a wise, smart man. Let me tell you, if today, Dave Umahi, you're on the ballot, Aki Unadeshino is on the ballot, or Yemi Osinbajo is on the ballot, Indigbo will vote for Yemi Osinbajo. Indigbo will vote for Aki Unadeshino before you because they know who you are. If today election is conducted in your own village, Dave Umahi, between you and Alex Oti will beat your hands down. If an election is conducted today in your village, Dave Umahi, between you and Peter will beat your hands down. Without doing it, without manipulation, without buying votes. In Igbo land, that's what we call Ako Uche Unuchu. Indigbo are people who are grounded by women and culture. That is why most of you are trying to dilute the value system of Indigbo. Because in Igbo land, when the white man came into Igbo, they didn't see prison, they didn't see any harness. In Igbo land, the first thing they ask you before you marry into any family, either as a man or a woman, is they first of all make these three inquiries. Is that place thieves? Igbo man hates thievery. They will ask you, Ndia, 1 weekend, do they die early? Then they will ask you, Ndia, Yara. These are the three things. And people are easily run mad. This is our world view as Indigbo. Ako, Uche, and Uchu. We believe in Ewambo. Aliko Dangote, who is the wealthiest man in Africa, does not speak arrogantly the way some of you speak. You impoverish your people, you misappropriate their resources, and then you put in your stooges, and then you go to the national level, and every little thing, you are attacking your own people. You are abusing your own people. Have you seen any governor or minister in Tinubu's cabinet from the north abusing Atiku? Every time, every button, you open your mouth. Who are you? In a claim that you're lion of which people? Do you see the way we reference Simon Bakwe? Do you see the way we reference Michael Obara? You think the law of Indigbo has for Chuku and Peter Obi and Michael Obara and Simon Bakwe is just because they are wealthy? No, they weren't wealthy. They respect their own because they believe their worldview, their lifestyle tallies with the worldview and the culture of Indigbo. If you want Indigbo to love you, go and do what Simon Bakwe did. Go and do what Michael Obara did. Tell her your life alongside what Peter Obi is doing. Indigbo will love you. You don't force us to love you.
Nigeria Law Enforcement Agency. Why is it not always about the crime, but about who the criminal is? You see, my fellow Nigerians, I'm sure we are no longer ignorant to the fact that in Nigeria, it is never about the crime, but about the criminal involved in the crime that determines the actions and the reactions of the Nigerian Law Enforcement Agency. Is that simple? Now look at this image I'm putting here now. This is the image of a very young, beautiful lady who have recently said to have been found dead in the home of the Honorable Minister of Works, David Umahi. Always honorable anyway, no matter what they do, always honorable. This lady was said to have been found dead mysteriously in the home of this man, and as we speak now, there is nobody in police custody, nobody's with the DSS, nobody is answering anything because a big politician is involved. Imagine a scenario if something less than this have happened in the house of the ordinary child, ordinary Nigerian. The person that owns the house, the immediate neighborhood, everybody will be in trouble. You are not an ignorant to that. It is in this Nigeria. I've seen somebody murdered somewhere and being dumped in an uncompleted building in a bush. In most cases, the owner of the uncompleted building do not even live around, but will be invited by the police, detained and interrogated. The person lives elsewhere. He has an uncompleted building somewhere. Maybe some criminal element murdered somebody and dumped the corpse in that building. The owner of that building will suffer. If you are a Nigerian and you live in Nigeria, you know what I'm talking about. Not to talk of somebody being found dead in the residence of someone and nothing happens. That is because the person involved, they dictate the law. So the Nigerian Law Enforcement Agency, why is it always about the criminal, not the crime? Why? No, the pedigree, the capacity of the criminal, and not the crime. Why? Now let's look at another instance. You see the man I just brought out again now. The man that is at the middle of the scandal of the non-existing or fake agency they correctly talking about. The guy you are seeing now is only going to be used as a scapegoat at the end of the day. This guy isn't really the author of that agency. He is only an errand boy. But trust me, he will be used as a scapegoat. He will be used as a cover because there are big names involved. All of this scandal has always indicted and implicated Gbajabiamila. Why is he not arrested? Why is he not detained for questioning? Because whenever a crime happened, as I know the Nigeria Law Enforcement Agency do operate, maybe when it affects the child of the ordinary man or the nobody in the society, any name that is being mentioned will be interrogated by the police. Most cases they will be detained. But in this case, it is the man who looks like, because to me, this guy, I've heard him speak, looking at his physical appearance, he doesn't look capable of pulling that storm, of registering an agency of that magnitude with the level, with the amount of budget that is going into it, having find its way into the Federal Secretariat at Abuja, having multiple accounts with the CBN. No, this guy is not capable of making all of that happen. But the people behind this main issue will be shaded using this guy as a scapegoat. He has been arrested now by the police. So Gbajabiamila is still at the comfort of wherever he is, still giving orders because it's too big to be arrested. In which society will crime stop when there are people too big to be arrested? The crime will never stop. Because if somebody can be found dead in the home of David Umahi and nothing happened, he can decide to do. See, who know how many may have gone down that was never in the public domain? That's why when you see these people parading themselves as honorables, just don't envy them. They are far, far away from the word honorable. Nothing honorable about them. But the Nigerian Law Enforcement Agency, thank you for making it a priority to effect or sweep into action based on who is involved in the crime and not the crime. That determines how you act. Who is the criminal? not what is the crime, and are we supposed to survive to have to continue like this? I know somebody might want to say, you want to drag Tinubu again. This is not about Tinubu. Nigeria has always been like this. This is the Nigeria we've always had. But we are not supposed to continue in this direction. We need a country that will be governed by the rule of law, where things will be done in order, where every crime will be punished regardless of who the criminal is. Are we going to have that Nigeria anytime soon? With the kind of those citizens we have around now? I don't think so. But why we could not have that kind of Nigeria? That means we are all in trouble. Who is the next potential victim? It can be you, it can be me. So let's just keep watching all this happen and do nothing about it until it gets to us.
Recently, Peter Obi alluded to the suspicion that there is a possibility that the federal government is attempting a shot at his life. And some sort of mixed reaction has been going on the internet. And let me put my voice to this statement, this narrative. To understand the precarious situation we are in now, you must understand how desperate, how resolved these cabals want to retain power. If you do not understand that, then you will not understand where we are. Now, do they want to hold power for the right reason or for the wrong reason? Now, here is a government who claimed that it was their turn. Here is a government who did not tell us what they wanted to do other than to hit the ground running, keep running, and not stop running. Here is a government who believes that elections are won by grabbing, snatching, and running away with it. Here is a government who employed all the tactic of deception by hiring fake bishops, buying judges, and controlling the INEC. Now you must understand that the only people who knew the actual result of the 2023 election is Tinubu and APC and INEC. So why the special attention on Peter Obi is simple, because they know that all the technique that they used to rig the 2023 election cannot be employed again. And they are surprised that the obedient movement they thought was dead was not only still alive, but they have awoken another movement, which is the Kwankwasia movement. Imagine an obedient wave merging with the Kwankwasia wave. That would be too much to rig. So the only option available, why not take out our only obstacle? I suspect, allegedly, it's my opinion. I'm not saying that is what is happening. I think that is an option, taking out Peter Obi. But how they will take him out, I think is what they are devising, where it will look natural. There will not be any, there will not be any trace. You know, I made a video sometime in the past, and I said, there's this one, is it Chinese? Is it one of these Asian, South Korea, North Korea, but that was eliminated. They eliminated the person with a simple technique. They hired 2 prostitutes with 2 different chemicals in their hands. Each individual chemical is not lethal until they come together. So what the first lady did, you come and hug the target, and then the other lady comes to hug the target, thereby dropping the 2 chemicals on the target, and then the reaction starts. There are many ways. That's why I say Peter Obi should stop shaking hands and stop, interacting so easily. Yes, he's loved by the people, but these same people you loved can be used to get at you. Right now, Peter Obi is a hard target. It's a hard target. And they are devising every means. Look, 2027 is going to be a very, very dicey. It's going to define Nigeria. Because this Tinubu, he has told you that he's not afraid. That he's not the one you can push over. Yes, I know he's not going to be a pushover. That I know. But we, the masses, we should tell him that we are as stubborn, if not more, than him. And we are resolved to chase criminalities away from governance. We are bent to ensure that Nigeria has good governance. If you are resolved to entrench and sustain criminality in Nigeria, we too are bent and sustained to make Nigeria work. And if it means that we shall apply every means possible to get these criminals out, we will employ it. The masses will employ it. Yes, we know that it's not going to be easy. This is not where we go to the polling unit and we run or we have bandages seeking for sympathy. No. Before we get bandages on our head, 5 of your supporters will have bandages on their head. Yes, I say so. And we are ready.
With the current situation in Nigeria right now, the 2027 election is going to be bloody because the election are between the people and the government. The mistake when Nigeria made before, they will not want to repeat it again by 2027. 2023, APC and INEC capture Nigeria overnight. By 2027, such thing will not repeat itself again. The reason why many people still believe on a better Nigeria now because somebody like Peter Obi is there. They believe one day if Peter Obi rule this country, everybody will witness a better Nigeria. And this administration no want make somebody like Peter Obi enter Aso Rock. By 2027, voters will do everything to resist APC. That is the reason why I say 2027 will be bloody because Tinubu will not want to surrender easily. Seeing everything when them they do now, it's obvious. The judiciary, the INEC and all are with APC. And the people are with Obi Kwankwaso. So the 2027 will not be a normal election when Nigeria the weakness. They believe if Igbo man enter Aso Rock, it go divide the country. Many people believe if Igbo man becomes the president of Nigeria, them go suffer because they have so many cockroaches in their cupboard. Even if Nigeria decides to divide today, we all will benefit from it.